What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be talking about the free rig and how it has become a very important presentation in my fishing. I've gone fishing multiple times this year and the free rig was the only way I could get bit. It totally bailed me out on a few different trips, and that recently just happened to me as well. I threw a bunch of different baits but could not get bit on anything except the free rig. So I figured in today's video I'm going to show you exactly what I'm using on that free rig right now, my rod, reel, line, everything, and get you guys dialed in on that free rig. There we go, bodega on the free rig. That guy wasn't coming off. The free rig is this style of a sinker on the line with some sort of plastic, and we'll get into the plastic. It's not super important for right now, but basically it kind of reminds me of a Texas rig at first glance because you have that line right there in front of your plastic and it's going to slide up and down. What makes this bait, this presentation, unique is that when you fish this and you cast this bait out, this sinker comes down super fast, way faster than a Texas rig does. And what this bait does is it has to catch up, so to speak, but it's not going to catch up. It's not going to fall down as quickly as that sinker. So then you're getting this really nice natural fall. And a lot of time these fish eat this bait on that fall as the separation from the sinker and your bait is happening. And that's the key to this bait, is that nice natural weightless fall. Now when it comes to the weights that you're going to be using, I've kind of fallen into 3/8 being the go-to. A lot of the lakes that I fish, we get a lot of wind, and I've actually gone up to a 1/2 ounce as well when it's been super windy or I'm fishing super deep. But the 3/8 kind of just seems to be the sweet spot for my fishing. Now you can go lighter, especially if you're gonna throw it on a spinning rod, you're gonna be fishing shallow, lighter line. You can go heavier, like I said, for windy days or when those fish are deeper. But what you gotta remember is the heavier that sinker is, the faster it's gonna fall down into the water. So if you want more separation, go with that heavier weight. If you want less separation, go with the lighter weight. You're still going to get separation no matter what, which is the key. But that 1/2 ounce sinker is going to fall a lot faster than a 1/4 or 3/16. So the free rigs that I like to use are tungsten free rigs, and I use Essential Fishing free rigs. That's my company. I own Essential Fishing, and those are the ones that I'm using. Obviously, if I'm going to be selling you guys stuff, then I'm going to be using those products myself. This is the style that I currently have, is this teardrop style right here, and this thing works for me. Some guys like the little bit more pronounced, thicker teardrop, which I do have coming. I just haven't gotten in stock yet. So for those of you guys that know where you can purchase Essential Fishing products, you're going to probably see those hopefully here pretty soon, and you'll have a couple different styles to choose from. So I've got a bunch of fish on the free rig over the years on a bunch of different baits, but the one that I've been falling in love with for the free rig is this 6th Sense Bodega. This thing right here has flat out caught me tons of fish on the free rig. These little claws that come off are super lifelike, got a ton of motion, and they're very subtle, which is perfect for the free rig. They don't have crazy amounts of action. It's just a real natural, smooth motion that I think fish really like. I've caught fish on this smaller version right here, all the way up to the monster version. That big one is great right now in the summertime, and I think that this size right here, the smaller version, is going to be a staple. There's 3 different sizes. The smallest one, I think you can put it on a Ned rig, a little football jig head. You can drop shot it. I think the free rig is perfect for this style. Put it on as a jig trailer. And that bigger one, you could be Carolina rigging these things, free rigging them, Texas rigging them, flipping them. There's so many different things you can do with these bodegas, but they have flat out caught me tons of fish on the free rig specifically. So right before this recent trip that I'm talking about, I had the opportunity to get myself a brand new reel. This is the Daiwa Cage or Kaji or whatever it's called, 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. You can only buy this, I think, in tackle shops. You can't buy it online from what I understand, but this is one bad little reel right here, guys. Super smooth. I went in there to actually get a Daiwa Tatula Elite, and the guy was like, hey, you should check this reel out. And I got it at East County Bait and Tackle for anybody that's local here in San Diego. And this thing is really, really smooth, really, really good. I like it a lot. Highly recommend it. But what I think is key is that 8.1 to 1 gear ratio. I don't typically throw that high a gear ratio, but I think for the free rig, it is one where that 8.1 to 1 can be very beneficial. Because if you think about it, you're gonna have that weight that's coming all the way down off the head of that plastic, and then you're gonna have that plastic way up here. So if that fish bites, you're gonna wanna reel up that line super fast, and that 8.1 to 1 gear ratio is gonna be able to pick up that line as quickly as possible to be able to drive that hook home, so that way that fish doesn't get it all the way down its gut or it spits it out. I think having that heavier or that faster gear ratio is gonna be able to get that line picked up a lot faster so you can get a good hook in that fish. Now, when we're talking about the line that I like to use on a free rig, I'm using anywhere between 15 to 12 pound test K9 fishing line. I really like the K9 fishing line. This stuff works really, really well for me. I've been using it for a while now. I do have a discount code for them. It's Luna10. You can go to their website, use a discount code, try this stuff out. I do like this Pro 100. This is what I use when I'm dragging a jig, free rig, Texas rig, doesn't really matter. Anytime I'm dragging something slow, I'm gonna be using this stuff. Super strong, abrasion resistance. It's gonna get the job done for you guys. If I'm fishing tournaments, I got K9 on. If I'm fishing just for fun, I got K9 on. This is what I'm using, guys. 12 pound test, 15 pound test are pretty much my go-tos with the free rig. There's a bunch of different rods that you can use, and depending on how heavy, how big of a line, the cover, all that, you can vary this to suit your needs. But this is what I'm going to primarily when I'm fishing this free rig. So this is the exact rod and reel combo that I was using in my fish catches that you guys are seeing on this video. This rod right here is the 7'3" medium heavy 6 cents unicorn rod. It is a 10 to 20 pound line rating with a 3/8 to 3/4 ounce weight rating. It's got a fast tip on it, which is perfect for dragging stuff on the bottom. And the keys with this rod in particular, it's a high-end rod, it's super light and it's super sensitive. Having a super light, super sensitive rod is very key when you're dragging stuff on the bottom, because you need to be able to feel everything on the bottom. You need to be able to tell the difference between a bite and a rock, when you're coming through a grass patch, when you're coming over a tree branch, and you want to be able to feel those bites too, especially on the free rig. As that separation's occurring down in the water, that weight's down here, and you get a bite as that bait's, you know, falling weightless, you want to be able to feel that. You're not going to feel every single one, but you want to be able to feel that bite. You're going to feel that jump in the line, and I can feel that with this rod because you get that fluorocarbon, it's very sensitive line, and it shoots through, and you feel it on the guides, and then feel it through that rod blank as well. Having a nice reel like this one is key also, because you want to pair up your rod to your reel appropriately. If you have a super heavy reel on a very light rod, it's not going to balance out very well, and vice versa. Super light reel on a heavier rod, not going to balance out very well. So you want to pair up your equipment accordingly. When it comes to rods, I highly recommend spending the money on quality rods, especially for dragging, especially for jigs, Carolina rigs, the drop shot, stuff like that. Spend your money on your rods and get high quality, very sensitive rods for those types of presentations. Now we're going to talk about actually fishing the free rig. The free rig is a little bit unique in how you fish it, but very similar at the same time to a Texas rig or a jig. What I like to do is fish this thing at specific targets. So I'm going to throw this thing to a specific rock pile. I'm going to throw this to where I know there's brush. I'm going to throw this to areas where I know fish should live, whether I see them on my forward-facing sonar or I don't. I'm going to be fishing a specific target. I'm going to cast this thing out. I'm going to make a long cast and let the sinker do the job and get all the way down to the bottom. I'm going to let it sink on semi-slack line, so that way I can feel any of those bites that might happen as my bait's falling. Once everything is done and that bait gets all the way down the bottom, now I'm going to start bringing it back to the boat. I'm not going to be reeling it super fast. You can fish it that way, but that's not exactly how I do it. So typically what I like to do is I start dragging it back nice and slow. I want to feel every single rock, and if I feel that sinker come off a rock and drop down, I'm going to let that bait slowly sink down too, and just reutilize the specificness of this technique over and over and over again. Rocks and tree branches are perfect for this. You might have a big boulder down on the bottom. Once that weight comes off that boulder, it's going to sink back down and you're going to get that separation, and then that soft plastic is going to be drifting on down again, and you're getting to repeat that process over and over and over again. And that's the key. That's where this shines. No different than if you're bringing that thing over the top of a tree branch, that sinker falls off. Now my bait's going to slowly sink down behind it once that sinker hits the bottom. And then you're getting that nice weightless fall all over again. The more often we can repeat that, I think the more bites we end up getting. Guys, if you haven't fished the Free Rig, you definitely need to. It's definitely something that's gonna catch you guys a bunch of fish. It's relatively new, but guys are fishing it. A lot of people are fishing it. Not everybody's fishing it, but there are a lot of people, so it's time for you to take advantage and be one of the people that are out there catching fish on the Free Rig. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you wanna see me catch more fish on the Free Rig, check the video out that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.